A global health pandemic hasn't slowed Michigan Farm Bureau's Policy Development Committee's efforts to chart a path for the organization in 2021 and beyond. The committee recently spent 2 days in Lansing poring over 500 policy recommendations to put together a slate of resolutions that more than 400 delegates will discuss, dissect, and eventually approve at MFB's 101st State Annual Meeting in December.
They go through and check and see if policies are already in the book, if it's a direction the organization needs to go, and puts that all together and presents that to the delegates at the annual meeting. Submissions from the counties were down a little bit this year, obviously, but the committee's worked pretty hard so far to go through all those county resolutions and deal with them appropriately. Every county resolution is read and determined where to place that in the policy book.
The hot button and pressing issues brought forward this year encompass COVID-19, Michigan's meat producers and processors, statewide infrastructure, and more.
A lot of resolutions that have came in, specifically dealing with COVID and executive orders that's been embedded all over the policy book. So that's one of the pieces I would definitely focus on as a delegate to look for.
So in our subcommittee, a lot of our resolutions this year came in the stem of the COVID pandemic. Under the regulatory reduction and the streamlining of state government, we're considering some policy resolutions having to do with the Freedom of Information Act and emergency powers and checks and balances on our state government. Under taxation, we were considering some policies to relieve some burdens on businesses that were shut down during the government shutdown.
So we are going to be doing a brand new policy in the commodities and marketing. So you'll be seeing all new language, but keep in mind we pulled out a lot. We had about 4 different pages to go through. We pulled out all the bullet points. We hit on what's specific for the commodities marketing and saved the new Michigan meat industry section of the policy book.
For the first time, MFB's annual meeting will be held virtually because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and will only last 1 day, which makes sifting through the different recommendations ahead of time and getting familiar with the technology that will be used all the more important.
I really think this year more than ever, prior to your district meetings, that all the delegates from across the state have to do their due diligence in reading through this resolution book and get a good feel for these policies.
I would highly recommend getting together with your district or your county group, reading through what is suggested ahead of time and actually work together with and bridging the gap of technology.
Because our time will be relatively limited because it's all virtual, it would be a great thing to have any questions or discussions kind of scripted out beforehand so we're ready to go when that policy is discussed.